The Division 2, the gameplay has finally dropped, together with a release date, which will be March 15th, 2019. And honestly, there's just so much to go over in these 6 minutes of gameplay, which I'm not going to do right now, funny enough, because I'm actually expecting a whole lot more gameplay and information to be shown at the Ubisoft conference, just, not too long from now. And before I start my breakdown of everything about this trailer and all that stuff, I want to have as much information as possible. I don't want to speculate on things that then might be revealed to be wrong or correct tomorrow. So for now, I just want to drop my first impressions on the trailer, on the gameplay. Just talk about how I feel a bit after watching that. And, well, to be honest, guys, I feel pretty good about it. If you haven't seen it yet, if you missed it, I don't know why you would have, but make sure to watch the whole thing first for yourself. I'll leave a link to it in the description box down below. So watch that first and then come back to this video. But yeah, everything about what I'm seeing in this trailer and in this gameplay, it still very much makes it seem like it is the next Division game. It still feels like the Division, but it just has tons and tons of improvements slapped on top of it, ranging all the way from simple quality of life things, such as the damage fall-off graph we can see in the inventory menu when you look at the weapons, or maybe the 9-grid emote wheel that you can use now to, select more emotes on console, I guess. But of course, we don't only have that, we have gameplay improvements that we can see, mechanically speaking, making the game more interesting, such as a root on this guy. He's stuck on the floor after some ability from this NPC. He's not able to move up until a teammate shoots his leg and then he frees him up. Or maybe the requirement to hit a very specific weak point on this guy's armor in order to damage him first. All of these things, they lean towards giving us more interesting gameplay, other than just, hey, here's a very tanky NPC, just empty 5 magazines into him. That's really one of the weaker points that the Division always had, in my opinion. But also, we see a lot more features, like this grenade launcher sidearm weapon, for example. The graphics look very good as well. I do like the new atmosphere, but the gameplay, of course, also left me with a whole lot of questions. For instance, these players are level 30 with purple gear. Does this mean that we're pretty much seeing the end of the game right here, just before they invade the White House and complete the last mission? If so, why do the players not have their signature skills yet? Have they been taken out? Do we not have signature skills anymore? I wouldn't mind too much myself, to be honest, but it's all stuff that we don't know at this point. And also, why does the UI not display the skills of my teammates? Is that gone for some other reason? Also, where's the dark zone on this map? We have the map, but I couldn't see the dark zone. I think there will be a dark zone, because if you go into the inventory menu, we very much seem to have slots, places that indicate space for dark zone loot to be picked up and then put in the backpack, but it's still locked. Can we not go into the dark zone until we complete the storyline mission after we're max level? Also, is the drone back this time for real? It seems to be a skill this time, though, according to the website, which has a whole bunch of more information. I can keep going and going and going and going and going with questions that will only dig us deeper into the rabbit hole of, lack of information, which is why I think it is best to just wait a few days for a proper breakdown of this trailer, and maybe some other trailers or gameplay bits and snippets that will probably come, because the Ubisoft conference, that's still gotta happen, and I think that's where we're gonna get the majority of the information, even though this was already a pretty good chunk of gameplay. So for now, I'm not gonna break down all these things too much. I'm not gonna dig too deep into it, because a lot of the questions that I might ask today, or a lot of the things that I might conclude today, all of those, it all may be answered in just a few days with just a little bit of patience. So all I just want to say for now is that I'm happy with what I've seen so far. The game seems to not deviate too much from the game that we all like so much. It's still very much an RPG cover-based shooter style game. It's not too different from the first game, but again, it looks like it has taken steps in almost every direction to improve it. But it's still very much the Division. We look in the menu, we can see skill power being a thing. We see health, armor, and although you might have noticed, armor is now a flat bar on top of your health rather than a percentage-based mitigation amount on top of your health pool. I'm not sure how armor works in terms of gameplay yet, in combination with medkits or heals. It doesn't seem to refill automatically throughout the battle up until the very end, at least not for the player that's playing right here. We have one moment where the player Megan, when she's off screen, you can see that our armor bar instantly refills to the max, and then our health bar also seems to go up. That might be a med kit, it might be a healing skill. It happens off screen, so it's really, really hard to tell. I don't think it is an automatic refill for not being in combat, because our player, the player himself, he is out of combat, or at least not being hit by any NPCs for way longer than 5 seconds. So I don't think it's any of that. I think it's probably a medkit. But again, keep in mind that we might not even see any healing abilities in this game like we know them in the Division 1. It's been confirmed that there will be PvP in this game, but with PvP being in this game, I can imagine that the developers really kind of wanted to take a different approach on the whole thing, because PvP in the Division 1, let's be honest, it was kind of bad with all the healing mechanics that people could just stack and stack and stack and stack on top of each other. They just, the typical chicken dance and that kind of stuff. I can imagine that the developers really wanted to take a different approach to PvP. But yeah, again, I'll talk about all of this after E3 is over and after we know more things for sure, because you can see how talking about these things right now, when there's, a conference coming up tomorrow and players are going to be able to play the game at E3, it's just a little bit pointless. Honestly, the one thing I didn't expect though is this game to be in spring or summer. It was really difficult for me to imagine a Division game without snow. But I guess that all the rumors that came out a couple months ago, they were true. The game is set in Washington, D.C. It's set a few months after the first game. And the storyline is that you have to rescue the president. That will be the setting of the game. And yeah, there's just, again, so much I want to go over. Potential classes being added to the game. The map, its size, I can just keep going, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until tomorrow, and then after we get information there, I'm going to go deeper on all of the stuff that we're seeing right here. So just keep an eye out on my channel in the upcoming days. To sum it up, I'm happy with what has been shown. There wasn't really anything that completely blew my mind. It was all very much within the lines of what I was expecting. And just as with Anthem, I still want to know more about the end game, about the mechanics of this game. I still don't really know what they're going to do to make me keep playing this game. But again, I hope tomorrow we'll get information about all of that, and if not, then at least in the upcoming weeks. But yeah, that's it from me. Let me know how you feel about it, and then I will see you guys later. See you later.